In Scotland, Natterjack toads are only found on the Solway Firth. It's the UK's rarest amphibian. But just to get the opportunity to be out in, especially when it gets pitch black, just being, with a group of people and experiencing that is just really magical. We are at RSPB Mersehead. My name is Rowena Chambers and I work as the warden. This is one of the Natterjack toad pools at Mersehead, more of a man-made pool. So the Natterjack toad colony naturally was just slightly further west along the sand dunes, and we were just trying to encourage them to move east along the sand dunes. So we've created pools in a very long rectangular compartment on the reserve that was quite rush dominated previously. All the poles are marking spawn strings, so a traditional method of monitoring the Natterjack toad is to do daytime surveys where you go out and you walk through the pools and you're looking for the spawn strings. And the theory behind this is that each female toad will only produce one spawn string a year. So it can give you an estimate of the potential female population, and it's believed with Natterjacks to be 1-to-1 male and female, so then that can give you an idea of your population on your site. So this is a freshly laid Natterjack toad spawn. We can tell it's Natterjack because it's got the double row of eggs. The warmer the water, the faster the spawn string and the tadpoles will grow. But they can take up to 6 weeks to reach the toadlet stage. So hopefully all of the ones that were laid on Monday should be hatching by the start of next week. So this pool, it's really close to the beach, so the beach and the sand dunes are just a short distance away. Natterjack toads like ephemeral pools, so it is really important that the water dries out, hopefully after they've bred successfully. And that is a really dangerous life strategy because in this year it's been so dry and so warm that there's not a lot of water. So a lot of the spawn strings are probably going to dry out and they're not going to make it this year. But in a short term, then that's part of their life strategy, and that's okay. It's only if they saw that repeatedly over success, sort of lots of years in a row, that it might become an issue for them. Scotland, Natterjack toads are only found on the Solway Firth, so we are right on their northwestern boundary for the whole of Europe. It's the UK's rarest amphibian. It's threatened in the UK and very restricted to habitats that are a threat, so it's coastal sand dunes. They like very dynamic sand dunes, so sand dunes that are exposed to a lot of erosion, a lot of storms. They didn't naturally appear at Mersehead, so it was a translocation project rather than a reintroduction project, and they came from Southerness, which is only 4 miles down the coast, in 1999, where they translocated spawn string from Southerness to some ready-made pools at Mersehead, and that started the Mersehead journey for Natterjack toads. We've had a really good monitoring programme. We were going out at night to look for the toads because they're nocturnal. So we search with a torch to count the number of adult toads on site. And the most we've had in a single night is 302, which is absolutely fantastic. It was an amazing night. They've got a unique pattern of dorsal warts on the back, so we use that to do some photography analysis to identify individual toads. So we took photographs of all the toads over 3 different nights, about 10 days apart, and you could analyse all the photographs to see if you caught the same toad like three times, for example. We know that the population at Mersehead is the most stable in Scotland, and it's one of the best sites in the UK now for Natterjack toads. They are so delicate when you compare them to the other amphibians. They've got this amazing emerald green eye, where a common toad is very bronze. They've got this amazing yellow stripe. So what we'd like to do is try and help encourage them to expand their population eastwards and join back up to Southerness, where we translocated them from. And through acquisition, Mersehead now extends 3.2 kilometres, so it's virtually the whole way to Southerness. So to have Natterjack toads across the whole Mersehead dune system would be a real aspiration.
I had a garden warbler singing at Sandy Hills this morning. I thought I heard one yesterday, but...
So we'll go look at the spawn strings, and there's a fresh one which is really exciting, and then there's some slightly older ones. We'll have a nice walk down the beach, have a look at some burrows, and then hopefully we'll get to the lagoon just as they start calling. Our volunteers come in, they do various roles with us, so some of them are work party volunteers and they've been coming for 15 plus years, so they're the ones that are out doing all the Natterjack toad habitat work in the winter. We've got our volunteers who work in people engagement, and they're sort of on the front line talking to visitors in the visitor centre. So every year we try and do a volunteer night, so we pick what we hope is going to be a really good night for Natterjack activity. So it's all about giving them the experiences of Mersehead, and getting the chance to share that with other people that they meet as well. So myself and the assistant warden both hold Natterjack toad disturbance licences that are issued by the government through Nature's Scot. So it allows us to do all our habitat work, it allows us to survey for the toads, and it allows us to show the toads to other people.
Natterjacks hibernate over the winter months, and they make themselves a burrow which is usually about a foot deep. We've been trying to solve the mystery of where the Natterjacks at Mersehead hibernate. So this year, when we knew the Natterjacks were likely to come out for the first time when the nighttime temperatures rose, we came along the beach and we discovered lots of Natterjacks along the base of the sand dunes. These are the tracks of a Natterjack toad that has come out of its burrow in there in the sand dune and made its way onto the beach and potentially climbed up and over these sand dunes to get to the breeding pools. They're just incredible, the power in their back legs, so yeah, I love seeing them and learning about them and researching them.
We're just going to go over that low ridge and then we'll get out the wind as well, but yeah, if you cup your ears it doubles the sound, it's amazing. But just to get the opportunity to be out in, especially when it gets pitch black, you know, you're out in the middle of the reserve, just being, you know, with a group of people and experiencing that is just really magical.
This is my third time, I think. It's absolutely brilliant to hear those toads. They're very, very special, and they're doing a great job here looking after them.
It's nice to know that what they're doing actually achieves something. So that's good. And it was interesting seeing those little tunnels on the beach, so you could see where they'd been hibernating, because I've not seen that before.
They just dart off.
So if you'd like to see a Natterjack toad, it's really important that you book onto a guided walk that's led by a professional who has a licence.
There's just something about Mersehead. The whole place is just very, very special.